What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. More specifically, I'm going to be picking apart the rhetoric of Sam Harris's TED Talk about the dangers of AI. Sam Harris is a prominent figure in the artificial intelligence conversation, and he's known for speaking not only on the TED Talk but also on Joe Rogan's podcast about how AI is developing and how there aren't enough safety concerns for how we're developing them. AI will be a danger to humanity one way or another. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
I'm going to talk about a failure of intuition that many of us suffer from. It's really a failure to detect a certain kind of danger. I'm going to describe a scenario that I think is both terrifying and likely to occur. And that's not a good combination, as it turns out. And yet, rather than be scared, most of you will feel that what I'm talking about is kind of cool. I'm going to describe how the gains we make in artificial intelligence could ultimately destroy us. And in fact, I think it's very difficult to see how they won't destroy us or inspire us to destroy ourselves. And yet, if you're anything like me, you'll find that it's fun to think about these things. And that response is part of the problem. Okay, that response should worry you. If I were to convince you in this talk that we were likely to suffer a global famine, either because of climate change or some other catastrophe, and that your grandchildren or their grandchildren are very likely to live like this, you wouldn't think, interesting, I like this TED Talk. Okay. Famine isn't fun.
So, just in this beginning first part of the video, you can already see the small but effective rhetorical techniques Sam Harris uses. These techniques are unanimously used across most TED Talks, where the speaker dresses well, speaks calmly and clearly and methodically without using filler words such as or and they just do a good job of presenting. He also uses many visual aids and images to enhance his talk. Alright, so now I'm going to be reacting to the next part of the video and giving my thoughts right after it plays. So, here we go.
It's as though we stand before two doors. Behind door number one, we stop making progress in building intelligent machines. Our computer hardware and software just stops getting better for some reason. Now take a moment to consider why this might happen. I mean, given how valuable intelligence and automation are, we will continue to improve our technology if we are at all able to. What could stop us from doing this? A full-scale nuclear war? A global pandemic? An asteroid impact? Justin Bieber becoming president of the United States?
So there's that appeal to ethos again with the imagery and the jokes, keeping the audience engaged.
The point is, something would have to destroy civilization as we know it. Okay, you have to imagine how bad it would have to be to prevent us from making improvements in our technology permanently, generation after generation. Almost by definition, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in human history. So the only alternative, and this is what lies behind door number two, is that we continue to improve our intelligent machines year after year after year. And at a certain point, we will build machines that are smarter than we are. And once we have machines that are smarter than we are, they will begin to improve themselves. And then we risk what the mathematician I.J. Good called an intelligence explosion, that the process could get away from us. Now, this is often caricatured, as I have here, as a fear that armies of malicious robots...
Stop this here and just say that this two-door theory, while overall relevant and it holds up. It's a two-door theory. We either get to the point where we've created this AI superintelligence, or our advancement is stopped and we never create it. However, this is actually a false dilemma. There are other possibilities. The theory still stands, but at the end of the day, there are other possibilities. For example, Elon Musk actually has a theory that we have already created AI superintelligence and we're living in a simulation. And so he says it better than I do, but it's a third door. And so I just like to point out that rhetorically, the point doesn't actually make sense, but factually and logically, it does serve to enhance Harris's argument.
You know, like say 40 years ago, you had video games. The most advanced video game would be like Pong, where you had like two rectangles and a dot. And you're like batting it back and forth.
I played it.
Oh yeah, like me too, exactly. I
That's
played Pong. Exactly. It sort of dates you a little bit, but yeah, we both played the same game, and that was like, wow, that was a pretty fun game at the time. But now you can see a video game that's photorealistic, almost photorealistic, and millions of people playing simultaneously, and you see where things are going with virtual reality and augmented reality. And if you extrapolate that out into the future with any rate of progress at all, like even 0.1% or something like that a year, then eventually those games will be indistinguishable from reality. They'll be so realistic, you will not be able to tell the difference between that game and the reality as we know it. And then it seems like, well, how do we know that that didn't happen in the past and that we're not in one of those games ourselves?
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, could be.
Everything is possible in life.
I mean, yeah, particularly like things seem to be accelerating to something.
So Sam Harris, who is he and why can he tell us about AI? Well, Sam Harris is actually a best-selling author. He's renowned for his contribution in nonfiction religious and philosophical literature. He actually has some really interesting works about rational skepticism and new atheism. He is an intellectual and he does use logical arguments to pass on a message that he's passionate about. I think he earns the right to try and educate people and start a conversation, because that's really what we should be doing here. Now, sort of wrap up a little bit, I'm going to be talking about TED Talks in general. The whole TED medium just gives an ethos to the speaker that really makes people respect them. And so, in this case, the speaker has definitely earned their spot, but just the fact that the TED Talk enhances the speaker's ethos and the amount of respect we have for them and the amount of authority they have, it really makes you need to keep your mind open when watching these videos, and you really need to think about, is this person really qualified to be telling me this? But more than that, is their argument actually sound, and are they making logical sense, and are they actually teaching me science? So just something to think about. My take on rhetoric and the Terminator, who will one day kill us. And I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, comment your favorite AI movie,